Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Clean Intermittent Fasting. How are you doing today? Well, where are we? We are at December 5th, and it kicks in, and the engine is roaring. And if you're a foodie like me, the temptations are like out of this world. They are everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. Dishes of things in offices, little bowls of things. The break room is just filled with CRAP, white flour, white sugar, brown fat. You know how that all goes. So, anyway, buckle in because if you want to maintain your sanity, your food abstinence, and your food sobriety, this is a tough 3 weeks that we've got ahead of us. And so I hope that you plan what it is that you're going to have. I hope that you are doing whatever food program works for you. What works for me is clean intermittent fasting with my OMAD. Today, my OMAD is going to be, I think, two soft boiled jumbo eggs with a ribeye steak. I know it sounds carnivore, doesn't it? But I've been salivating thinking about my dessert, as it were, cottage cheese, chopped up gala apple, almonds, raisins, and a dollop of almond butter. Oh, does it get any better than that? I don't think so. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus an orange. I'm into oranges these days, and I have usually one a day, and it all works for me, and it makes me happy. But it's what makes you happy and what works for you is why you're here. And if you're struggling to clean intermittent fast and become an OMAD person, it can happen, and I hope that you never look back. It's been the best thing for the 72-year-old body. Um, I have no regrets whatsoever. I've been doing clean intermittent fasting with OMAD for probably a year at this point. I was doing OMAD, and it pretty much was what I was putting in my coffee. Excuse me. It was pretty much what I was putting in my coffee that kept me from the clean part of the intermittent fasting with clean involved. And so now it's just black, please. I'm into the Starbucks French roast at this point. I was buying a lot of organic coffee beans that I grind here, but there's nothing like the flavor of French roast Starbucks that gets to me. So I buy the bag at BJ's of beans. Excuse me, why don't I have some of this? And grind it up and have it strong, black, hot, frequent. That's that's my order of appearance for the black coffee. And then as far as water goes, when I wake up in the morning, I have an Element LMNT. It is a little packet. It's expensive of electrolytes of the salt, potassium, and magnesium. And I mix it in with warm water and have that in the morning. Then I have another glass of warm water with my supplements after my OMAD, considered in my window, as they say. So I'm delighted with my results. I continue to maintain my weight, and I'm at a place where I never thought I would be, and it works. And I love the food that I eat. I don't practice any deprivation. I don't practice any any never again on my list. I do enjoy the foods that I thought I could never have again. Reasonable portions. I have portion distortion, or I had portion distortion, and I've been working on it. But with my OMAD spread, I managed to fit in just enough. I know that just enough button, and for fullness, and something that's going to fuel me to the next OMAD the next day. That's how I do it. And so my body tells me when you're done, girly. And then I immediately do the flossing and the brushing that says, I'm done. My body knows that. It's like, okay, it's like the little toddler that reaches for the binky in the blanket. It knows when it's time for a nap, and we don't have to act out to get to get sent to our room for a little nap. Nope. We just know when to shut the eating down. And so if there's something that I want, I will put it into my OMAD. I don't suffer from that cravings and wanting to cheat and having a lick of that, a taste of that, a bite of that, a breath mint, a gum, none of that. The clean part is where the miracle is. I will always continue to believe and promote. I'm 72. Oh my God! And still working. I work every day. I either work at the store being a cashier or an in-store shopper, or I do my Instacart. And on my so I stay active, which I think is a big part of it. Not so much for the quote unquote you should exercise every day, but the keeping active keeps me, you know, not being bored and restless, where I can easily flip that switch into the clock watcher of when I can eat, how I can eat. All of that is gone. I don't like that feeling of wanting to eat and no, naughty girl, you can't have it. That's where the clean intermittent fasting and then having my OMAD with plenty of fats and probably a moderate amount of protein. But for me, it's fats and it's also carbs. I have carbs again in the form of fruit, vegetables, sometimes a slice of, um, and it all makes me feel very good. I sleep great. I get between 8 and 9 hours of sleep a night. It just seems to be kind of finally at 72 finding a balance in all of it. And I was a compulsive overeater for decades. I ate too much. I wouldn't call it binge eating, but I have known to have certain things in the house that I can't stop. And so there's certain items that I would over do. And I'm glad that that part of my lifestyle is over. So I'm happy, I'm content, I'm energized. I go to bed at 6 at night. I wake up between 2 and 3. And if I don't wake up between 2 and 3, there are two little kitties named Frankie and Freddie that wake me up because they're telling me, it's time, Mama, get up and feed us. They're 2 meals a day. I used to leave out kibbles for them, the dry food, and they got bigger and bigger. So I don't do that anymore. They have two little dishes of food every day. One when I wake up in the morning, and the second one is as soon as I come home from work between noon and 2, they will get their second little dish, and then they get a little treat before I go to bed. And I can't imagine stopping that. I don't think they'd let me because they tell me it's time. So I suppose I'm a lot like them. I know when it's time. By the time I get to my OMAD, I am hungry and I am excited about having it. Not in that way of, that crazy way that I felt when I was out of control without a little bit more time under my belt of doing this. Once I adjusted to um, the the fasting part and then the OMAD part, the cleanup came with not having anything in my coffee, not having any flavored coffees, not having any flavored waters, not having any artificial sweeteners, not having anything or alternative sweeteners. All of that went. So my palate now is for savory. It's for bitter with the coffee, having it strong and black. And it's a great place to be. And I hear, they, you know who they are. I don't know who they are, but they say the cephalic um, phase insulin response, CPIR, doesn't happen with bitter. Hence, why when you drink a black coffee, it's not triggering your insulin. So you can still have your black coffee. Getting used to it might take some time, but you will never, ever, ever regret crossing the road from the loaded coffees or the just a little something, something in your coffee and seeing the results of the clean intermittent fasting. I love being able to be the size that I am, the things that still fit from season to season. I don't know about you, but I still have it, a closet filled with sizes that I haven't worn in quite a few years since beginning the OMAD. And now with the clean intermittent fasting, it really is delightful. I love being the same size month after month after month. And the weight stays the same too, but it's the size that matters to me with the jeans and, well, the upper stuff, but it's always the jeans are my barometer. And that's what I stick with. And so I'm hoping that it's working for you. I'm hoping that this season isn't pulling you in too much into a dangerous place. If you want to have something, if you can possibly do, I swear, bring a baggie, bring a little, grab and go type of container with you to work so you can bring home the goodies if you have them and put them in your OMAD. Stay true to what works for you. I find that I can have a little carb, a little sugar, just a little, um, and it holds me over. I find that having the fruits and the things like peanut butter or almond butter, also the nuts, they really hold me over and they quell any of that other um, junk food taste, that appetite for having the wrong things. I actually passed something up in a store. I was being a cashier and something came through in the line and she said, "There's a few more up there. They're all half price." And it used to be my Achilles heel of eating too much. And I actually didn't even go check it out. I didn't buy it. I was so delighted to have my little treat of something like, the cottage cheese with the chopped up apple and the almond butter and the almonds and the raisins. To me, that was just as satisfying. And it was doubly satisfying because at the end of having it, all legal, somewhat healthy foods, that I felt great. And I felt great that I resisted the heretofore real dangerous food and then had that and was satisfied, satiated, and delighted that I wasn't pulled. It's a great feeling. I do allow a treat every now and then, and when I do, I enjoy it, but it's every now and then, and I feel so great in being able to say that because oftentimes when I do have a treat, I will get a leg cramp or two, and those aren't fun. So, not having white sugar in my food plan definitely makes a difference in my overall being. And I don't like having those cramps, and I like knowing that they're gone. So, I hope that you're having a successful season so far, that you're avoiding anything. If you are like I was, a baker around this time of year, I hope that whatever decision you've made for doing it keeps you okay and safe from the foods that are dangerous for you, too. Sometimes you just got to make a decision, right? I have, fortunately, two cats that made my decision a while back. Nobody wants to bite into something and have a cat hair. So it helped along with my food thing because there's no safe place with cats. And you know that if you have them. So, anyway, be safe. Put all your foods, what you want, into your OMAD, so there's no deprivation, but you're not doing any like nibbling or breaking out. You're keeping your fast good and clean, and that keeps me safe. I hope it keeps you safe as well. So you don't have to deprive; you just have to put it in the right place, which is in your OMAD. Have a great day. I'm so glad all of you were here. We'll make it through this season and we will not be deprived, but we will be sane, we will be abstinent, and we will be food sober. There's nothing else quite like it. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great Monday. I'll see you here the next time. Bye bye for now.